Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mia. So today's video, as you can tell by the title, it is going to be the mid-year book tag. I cannot believe that July is in a few days. So today is June 28th. So July 1st is Tuesday? Wednesday? One of those days. Anyway, that's nuts. But I'm going to be going over the books that I've read so far this year. Well, not all of them. I'm definitely going to talk about the ones that stood out either for good or bad reasons. I believe that I've read, 22 books so far this year. Let me check. 23. So I've read 23 books so far this year, which I'm very proud of considering I didn't set a reading goal this year and I'm a slow reader. I'm very happy to have hit 23 books. So yeah, I'm just going to answer a couple questions. I'll put them on the screen. Some of the books that I mention, I think one of them at least, I don't currently have with me, so I'm just going to put it up somewhere on the screen. But the rest of them I will hold up so you can see them. And yeah, let's get started. So the first question is, best book you've read so far in 2025? Okay, I have two books that come to mind. One of them I don't currently have with me, but it is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. That book, I believe, depending on your reading order, is the fifth book in the series, in the Throne of Glass series. I say depending on your reading order because there's so much debate about where to put Assassin's Blade, which is the prequel to the series. I read it third, and I regret nothing. But yeah, Queen of Shadows is the fifth book in the series. There's not a lot that I can say without spoiling it, but those last couple of chapters, if Sarah J. Maas is going to do anything, it's make your jaw drop in the final chapters of each of her books, where you're just sitting there going, I don't know what the hell just happened, but I need to read the next book that comes next. And that's exactly how I felt after reading Queen of Shadows. It is, in my opinion, the best book in the Throne of Glass series. There's just so much going on. There's romance, there's action, there's war and politics. It's so good. So that would be my fantasy pick. If we're talking, I wrote some of this down. If we're talking romance, which is another genre that I've been reading a lot of this year, I would probably say The Right Move, which is book 2 in the Windy City series by Liz Tom Ford. I have it with me. This book right here. She is so, first of all, the cover is so pretty, but well, can you even see? Wait. Is that better? That's probably better. So this is The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford. It is so good. So it covers Ryan Shea and Indy Ivor's love story. So you'll meet both of them a little bit in book 1, but Windy City series, it's sports romance, and it covers 3 different sports. So hockey, professional basketball, and professional baseball. So Ryan Shea is a professional basketball player and Indy is a flight attendant. So how they connect is that in book 1, Ryan's twin sister is Stevie, and she is co-workers with Indy. They're both flight attendants. And basically, Indy is just coming off of a breakup. She doesn't really know where she's going to live, what her next move is going to be. So Stevie, Ryan's sister, talks him into letting Indy live with him temporarily. And he's just no, not interested in that. I don't know this girl. She's got stuff going on that I don't want to be a part of. He's just very tightly wound, and Indy is just light and fun and happy and just definitely the sunshine to his grumpy, for sure. And it just shows how they kind of just break down each other's defenses. And he also there's fake dating as well. He eventually needs her help. I'm trying not to give so much away, but I loved this book so much. So many people said that if you weren't a big fan of the first book in the series, keep going and get to book 2. And they could not be more right, because book 2, this man is my dream man. I said it in my Goodreads. I was Liz Tom Ford found the list of list of qualities that I want in a man and created Ryan Shea, because he's just perfect. So this is definitely one of the best books I've read so far in 2025. Okay, the next question, best sequel you've read so far in 2025. So, I could also say The Right Move was the best sequel I read in 2025. That's very true. But to mix it up and give another book, I would definitely say I should have pulled these out prior. So another book that came to mind as a great sequel would probably be this one right here. So this is Heartless by Elsie Silver. Because it's summertime, I decided to read cowboy romances because I felt like when I think of summer, or excuse me, when I think of cowboy romances, I feel like that would best work for the summertime. So this is the second book in the Chestnut Spring series. This follows Cade Eaton and Willa Grant. So Cade is the older brother of Rhett, who you will meet in the first book, and Willa is Rhett's girlfriend's best friend. So Summer and Rhett have their own love story in book 1, and this is Willa and Cade's love story. Cade is a single father. He is tough as nails. Willa is this sassy spitfire with red hair, and she's definitely like a do no harm, take no shit type of woman. And I loved this book. I loved this book so much more than book 1. I kind of had the same thing happen to me with the Windy City series, where like the second book was so much better than the first. I loved their dynamic. This is single dad. This is, she goes on to become his nanny because he has a young son named Luke. This is also Grumpy Sunshine, I would say. I just finished this like earlier this week, I believe, but yeah, I really liked it. So as far as sequels go, this was a really great one. Okay, the next question. New release you haven't read yet but want to. That's easy. So for that, it would definitely be this book right here. This is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I have heard of her because I know that she's the author of, like, what is it? One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns. I haven't read those books either. I'm actually waiting for the like special editions to come out because those books look so beautiful, and I want to read it when it looks all like this, you know? If that makes sense. But anyways, this has been on my radar for quite some time. I stare at her all the time. She is beautiful. Look at that. Look at that design right here. And then even on the inside, how pretty is that? So this is a book that I have been eyeing. It has been added to my TBR. I don't know when I'll get to it, but I hopefully would like to read it before the year is over. So that was an easy decision. Next question, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Well, I'm currently reading Quicksilver, and I'm really liking it so far. I've just like barely started. I'm like a few chapters in, but so far it's, you know, I'm enjoying it. So if things go well in the rest of the story with that book, then I would probably say the sequel, which is called Brimstone, and I believe it's coming out like just before Thanksgiving later this year. I'll put like the cover up here on the screen. So that's like a tentative, because like I said, I could totally hate it and then be like, oh no, I'm not reading the sequel, but I don't think I will. So that would probably be my most anticipated if I really like this. Okay, the next question, biggest surprise. You know, my biggest surprise, I already know straight away, would probably be The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I'm surprised by the fact that I did not enjoy it like I thought I would. Like I really wanted to, because so many people who recommended it, they are people that like, I love the books they recommend. They've never given me a book recommendation that I've just been like, I wasn't really feeling that, until The Wall of Winnipeg and Me came along. And I was so disappointed because I like slow burn a lot. That's probably one of my favorite tropes. And I know that Mariana Zapata has been like proclaimed as like the queen of slow burn because her books, like, okay, if there's like 32 chapters in a book, the sex scenes and the more intimate stuff takes place at like chapter 30. Like that is how much of a slow burn her books are. And that didn't like bother me or anything, but I just didn't really take to the story because I just felt like by the time he came around, so essentially, if you're not familiar with the book, she is his assistant and he's like this big time football player, I believe, and she's been like treated like crap by him for a few years, so she decides to finally quit and pursue her own dreams and her own career goals. And eventually he comes back and asks her to come back and like work for him, but there's like a bit of a twist there. I'm not going to reveal it in case you want to read it, but you know, he was such a jerk that by the time he finally came around, I was over it. I was like, dude, Like, I don't want to help you. I don't want to be around you. I don't care that you're being nice now, because he was just such a butthead, in my opinion, for so much of the story. So yeah, I was really turned off, and it kind of sucked because I wanted to really like the book and wanted to read more books by the author, but I was just like, I don't think this is for me. So I haven't really read a Mariana Zapata book since then. I could return because she does have a lot of other stories that sound really good, but I just didn't mesh with that book. So that would probably be the biggest surprise of how much I didn't enjoy that book. Okay, the next question is favorite new author, debut or new to you. I think my favorite author who is new to me would probably be Liz Tom Ford, who is the author of the Windy City series. I love the way she writes. I love the characters that she creates, both the male and female characters, because they're all so different and so dynamic, and you really grow to like care for these people, even though they're fictional, they're not real, but they're real to me. Like, this is definitely a friend group that I would want to be a part of if I lived in Chicago, or just be a part of, period, because they're so cool. And the men in Liz Tom Ford books, when they love so hard. It just consumes them. And that is so attractive to me. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that like these men wanted these women and no one was going to tell them otherwise. So that'd probably be my favorite author that I've read this year. Okay, next question. Newest fictional crush. I have 3. I will go through them quickly. Xaden Ryerson from the Empyrean series, Ryan Shea, Windy City series, and Isaiah Rhodes, also from Windy City series. They're all beautiful. They all don't play about their women. I would date them all. And I think we'd be very happy together. That was easy. Book that made you cry. None so far. I thought I was going to cry when I finished Throne of Glass, but I didn't. I didn't even get teary, and other people cried when they finished Kingdom of Ash, and I was just like, yeah, I'm emotional, but it was more like a stare at the wall, don't know what to do with myself, because this whole series has consumed me for so long sort of emotion. But no tears have been shed. I don't know if they will. I mean, Sarah J. Maas's books have made me cry, but yeah, no tears just yet. Book that made you happy. Okay, you know a book that made me happy? Right up here. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. This book made me so happy. Okay, so basically, she has a crush on her brother's best friend. He doesn't feel the same way. She goes on to meet this other guy in college who, Noah Riley is his name. He, like, I know what it's like to, like, have unrequited feelings for someone and just feel so defeated to like have to accept that they just don't feel the same way about you. But Noah Riley, he knew that he wanted her from the very beginning, and they took their time. They definitely went from friends to lovers. This book, like, I want every girl who's ever, I don't even remember the dude's name that she had a crush on. Chase. If you are dealing with a Chase, drop him and go find a Noah Riley. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. This was just a great reminder for single women like myself that, like, there is a man out there who will know that you are everything and then some, and he won't need to be convinced of it. Like, that was like the biggest message that I took from this book. I loved this book. I read it in 3 days. 3 effing days. I flew. I love this book. Next. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. Okay, so if we're not counting The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, another very beautiful book that I bought this year would probably be Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Look at this. I believe this is like the Barnes & Noble copy. How pretty is this? Look at that. Look at those edges. And then on the inside, listen, this is like Valentine's Day threw up on a book. I also, like, my mom's gonna kill me when she finds out this, but I also have like the other copy, like the paperback version. But when I saw this, I was like, I have to get it. I haven't even read the book yet, but I had to get it. I thought this was just stunning. And I've never read a Christina Lauren book. I know that it's like 2 different authors, or co-authors, but hopefully I read this before the year is over as well. I don't believe it was on my 25 before 25 in 2025 book video, but I will add it in anyway. Why the hell not? But yeah, she's stunning, and I'm really glad I got my hands on one. What books do you need to read? Do you need to read by the end of the year? So if you can see right here in this area, maybe right here, I want to begin my Zodiac Academy journey. I'm hoping to start in September because it's like dark academia. So I'd like to start like typically when the school year starts. I don't see myself finishing the entire series because it is a monster of a series, and I'm going to be following, her name is That Girl Reads on social media. She has like 3 different book orders for Zodiac Academy. I'm going to be following her emotional damage spoiler-free version, and that's like 20 books. I think it's like 20 books or like close to it. So I've got a mountain to climb with this series, but I'm hoping to start climbing that mountain later this year. And I really like the foiled edges. I know some people are up in the air. So this is book 6 in the series, and how it's got that like foiled, not foiled edges, foiled cover. I think they're cute, and they've been coming out like slowly. And so I think like the final book in the series with this sort of cover will be out in December. So I've got plenty of time. Plenty of time. What books do you want to reread this year? Boys of Tommen. Releasing 10 came out at the end of May, and it's been a while, I believe, since I read Taming 7, so I would like to reread Boys of Tommen just so that everything is fresh in my mind. I can jump back and fully immerse myself into this world with these beautiful characters that I love so much, and then I can start releasing 10. I hear so much controversy, like I had to put it down because it was way too much, or I flew through it and now I'm crying. That's what Boys of Tommen does to you. It brings out some deep emotions because the stuff that these kids go through, there are no words, but they are such a beautiful group of kids and teens. I keep saying kids, teenagers, teens, but yeah, if I was in high school, I would totally want to be in this friend group because they're the best. So that is a series that I would love to reread at some point this year before I start releasing 10. Okay. Books you've been putting off. Oh, it's right up here. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I'm terrified to read this book. Yeah. What more is there to say? I'm scared. I know it's gonna wreck me because The Great Alone was so beautiful. And that's how I know that she's a great storyteller. So if The Great Alone was enough to just make me go, wow, I know that I'm gonna need therapy after I finish this book. And that's why I've been putting it off. Will I get to it? Probably. I just gotta grow the hell up. A book you enjoyed with mixed reviews. Probably the first book in the Windy City series, Mile High by Liz Tom Ford. I think I gave this like 3.5 stars because I said it was good, not great. Xander's, listen, he's some girl's dream man. He's just not my dream man. I kind of thought he talked about his peen a little, like one too many times. Like, okay, dude, I get it. But other than that, I thought it was like a great love story because it touches on like your issues with your body, because like Stevie's not the most confident girl, but Xander's was just, he was all about her figure and her curves. He thought she was just like the hottest thing he'd ever seen, and I thought that was, I love that in a man where he's just like, I don't see what you see. I think your curves and the fact that you're more fuller figured is the sexiest thing about you. So I liked their love story, but I will say, like, when the other books came along, I was like, Xander's who? Who's Xander's? I've never heard of this man. So yeah, I'd probably say this one was a book that I liked that others are like iffy on. But like I said, it was good. It wasn't great. A series you want to finish before the end of the year. Probably the House of Devil series. I know that book 4 comes out early next month, like July, I want to say July 8th, which is like City of Smoke and Brimstone. I still need to read book 3, which is right behind me, City of Lies and Legends. That is a series that I would love to finish before this year is over. Each book is like 700 pages, so that's what I get for liking books that are thick. It's just going to take me a hot minute to get through them, but I would definitely like to get through that series at some point this year. I don't know how many books are going to be in the series. I feel like she's got like one more left. I could be wrong, but I do know that, yeah, a new release is coming. So I'd like to start the third at some point this year. I just need to like set the goal and just do it, because lately I've been reading more than one book at the same time. So I know I could get it done. I just gotta find the time to just do it, essentially. Okay, 5-star predictions for the rest of the year. I predict that... Oh, I really want to read the Daughter of No Worlds series. No, is that what it's called? War of Lost Hearts series by Carissa Broadbent. It's a trilogy. I predict that those books will be 5 stars. I predict that her other series, The Serpent and the Wings of Night, I think that's the name of one of those books, I believe that that'll be a 5-star as well. I think that... You know what? We're just going to stop there. Those are the 2 that come to mind. I can't think of any others. But yeah, I believe that those 2 series by Carissa Broadbent will be a 5-star rating from me, because I hear nothing but great things about both of those book series. I know that the War of Lost Hearts series is completed, and the Serpent and the Wings of Night, that series is, I think there's like 6 books coming in total, and the 4th one is going to be released later on this year. I want to say sometime in August. I'll put the actual date on the screen somewhere. But yeah, those are my 5-star predictions. Do you think you'll reach your reading goal, or are you are you going to change it? I did not set a reading goal for this year. I did not set a number because I did not want any of the pressure. I didn't want to feel like I had to just like fly through something and not fully immerse myself into a story. So I think that's what I'm going to continue to do for the rest of the year. I don't see any reason to set a number on something. I'm just going to enjoy reading. I'm going to continue to mood read because I find that I benefit the most from that. It's also why I don't have like a TBR jar, because I just want to read what interests me or what stories or books may be pulling me at the moment. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. And the final question, any new goals for the rest of the year? Probably, I'd like to say read everything that's on my shelves before I buy something new, but knowing myself, I'm definitely going to buy something new before I finish what's on my shelves. So that can't be a goal. Probably I would say just embrace the fact that I'm a slow reader and there's nothing wrong with that. That's like totally okay. The fact that like if you read one book, just one book this year, like nothing to be ashamed of. Probably what else? Any goals for the rest of the year? Maybe let's go with finish whatever book series that I still have that I need to finish. So I need to get through the Boys of Tommen series because there's one book that I have yet to read. I need to finish the House of Devils series because there's now going to be 2 books that I have to read. So anything that I'm like currently in the middle of series wise, get through it. That can be a goal for the rest of this year. And I think I'll do it. I think I can find a way to squeeze all these books in with all the time that I have, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Okay, so that was it. That was all the questions. I am so happy that I did this, and I cannot wait to continue reading and get to the end of the year and just talk in retrospect about all that I've read so far, because there's so many books that I have read that I didn't even mention in this video. I'm excited to crush these goals that I've set as well and just continue to have a great reading year. It's been good so far. I've had definitely more hits than misses as far as books have been concerned. So I'm excited to just keep reading and take you guys along with me. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.